Good morning, everyone. So we are going to start with portfolio design, development, and deployment. We are going to achieve this in 1.5 hours, and I'll be explaining step by step as we go further. So portfolio is pretty much understood to us what it is and why do we require it. It is for exposing ourselves to the potential clients, potential employers, and if we choose to freelance, then potential customers basically. Okay, so in that case, designing and development, these are two separate activities which we will be doing at the same time synchronously. Design would require you to understand the structure of the portfolio, the number of pages you require, okay, and the personality you would want to add to it. A portfolio is not based on a template, but rather a very personalized sort of artifact which evolves with time. Also think of portfolio not as a final document, but something in which you can keep on adding as you grow. So there should be a basic sort of a structure within which it allows you to add more content as you grow in your career. So portfolios are not built in 1 day or 2 day. Portfolios are built over years, right? So think of portfolio in that way. So having said that, the development would require you to convert your ideas into a website which is accessible to all. There are two options you have when it comes to development. So either you can have a website or you can have a web app. Since we do not have much understanding of how web development work, we will just try to use AI to automate things for us and expedite it. So we will not take the website route, even though we can develop definitely the websites with AI. But since we do not have hosting, and there are hosting options also available, but this will be a little complicated at the time. Earlier, this used to be complicated, but now this is made much easier with the help of AI. So we are going to use AI to create, design, and develop that for us as a web app. So I'll tell you about the difference. Website can be hosted. It's simply a lot of files put together, and you don't require a separate virtualization in terms of the machine which is serving the pages. So uh, think of it as a folder which is kept on a remote server, which can be accessed globally 365 days 24/7. While a web app functions in the similar way, but architecturally it is different how the server processes it. Okay, web app है. So difference हम समझाएंगे नहीं अभी. The purpose of this is not. If you want to understand the difference, you'll have to take a course. Example में भी समझ में नहीं आएगा. Amazon is a website also and it is a web app also. It is both. Website, मतलब we think of the things we are assessing via internet. Those are websites to us, but actually those are web applications. For example, right now the platform I'm using is a web app, but our facing site should be called a website. xcalidraw.com is a website, and in the backend there is a web app which is powering this. So it's a little confusing. You can have a website without having a backend. That is also possible. So these things will take time. Okay. So let's focus on our core objective, that we need to get the website done. So here we have narrowed up that we will be using creating a web app. So after we have created a web app, we need to deploy it so that other people can access it. So for creating the web app, I'll be using some technologies. I'm going to list those. First, I'm going to use a ChatGPT or Gemini. Either of them is fine. I prefer ChatGPT in this case. And after ChatGPT, I'll use Google AI Studio. And these two will be for generating the web app. And we would also need to use GitHub for managing our codes and then pushing it on Vercel for deployment. So for deployment, we are going to use Vercel. I'll describe the purposes of these three things. Let me just connect it. In order to ideate and freeze upon our requirements, we are going to use ChatGPT. So that means we'll be using it for ideation, writing a PRD, a product requirement document, the Google AI Studio is going to be used for developing the website, and it's a no code platform which allows you to code in, चलो वो वहां पे जाएंगे तो बताएंगे हम अभी फिलहाल तो इट्स नो कोड प्लेटफॉर्म एंड गिटहब विल बी यूज्ड फॉर managing the codes, or rather I should say version control. अब वर्जन कंट्रोल क्या होता है ये आप बाद में समझाएंगे, ठीक है, अभी नहीं. वर्जन कंट्रोल एंड पुशिंग द कोड टू वर्सल, ये दो चीजें हम गिटहब यूज करेंगे इसके लिए. ठीक है, गिटहब से वर्सल में पुश होगा और फिर आप वहां पे एक्सेस कर पाओगे. लाइव वेबसाइट, ठीक, ये है तुम्हारा पाइपलाइन. अब फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट हमारी क्या है? टू टेल चैट जीपीटी व्हाट वी नीड, राइट, and tell it in a very clear way. You can take your time. For the demonstrations, I'll create a simple website, okay? And it is not going to be as simple as you think, but still. So, my first step in this process is to generate a PRD, a product requirement document, okay? Which I can pass on to Google AI Studio, let it code. If there are bugs, we will just keep on reporting the bugs till the time it fixes it. From there, we will push the code to GitHub. So that means we need an account on ChatGPT, we need an account on Google AI Studio, and we need an account on GitHub. So we already have a ChatGPT account, and you already have a Google AI Studio account. Even if you don't know, you have that account, which comes from the college ID. We will also require an account on Vercel, and we will also require an account on GitHub. I would advise you to uh, Do one thing, do not use your college's id. Okay, do not use your college's id. uh, Use your personal id at the time. If it doesn't work, then we will fall back to the college id. ठीक है, ऐसा करते हैं, क्योंकि once the college is over, फिर तुम्हारा है ना. That is why I'm thinking Google have a good, they offer a good free tier. So even with the personal IDs, you'll be able to achieve this, not a problem. So let's quickly go to the chat GPT and then start building things. No, you will first see what I'm doing and make a note of it. Okay, so I'm gonna pass on a prompt which will help me generate the website. Okay, now this is going to take in account of many things based on the conversations I have had with ChatGPT earlier. In your case, your accounts may not have that information, so you have to explicitly provide those informations. Okay, so I'm gonna start writing the prompt. In fact, I'll just say the prompt: act as a very creative web developer and a web designer specializing in creating design portfolios. Ensure that this has good interaction using framer motion, and the portfolio should speak about the personality of the person for whom you are designing. In this case, design it for me. You can pull the context from our earlier conversations and you already have some idea about the persona. I need a total of 4 pages. The landing page is going to have various sections in it. You can decide which sections would fit for me best, but it should definitely have a hero section talking about broadly who I am and how I can contribute to the design spaces, workflows, and agencies. Thereafter, some of the projects I have done, the recent projects I have done. After that, maybe a testimonial section where the projects I finished and people have sort of given me feedbacks on that. That can be added. And one more section can be added on the landing page, which talks about the proficiencies I have. Not in a bar, graph style, but in a different style. You tell me the better one based on the trends, which is, prevalent at the time. And below that, I need a section with a contact form where people can simply fill in the details, name, email ID, and the purpose for which they want to connect. Um, it could the call to action for the form could say hire me or connect with me or something like that. Let's collaborate on a project. Such kind of things can be there, or maybe a drop down which gives these 3 options. So the landing page. And after that we need a page dedicated for just the projects. So all the projects are going to be there. If somebody clicks on the projects featured on the landing page, they should be taken to the specific projects. So all the projects will have its separate page with a hero image and a sort of crux of what the project is, along with a short description, and some of the images of the process could be shown as a gallery for the individual projects. So a separate project page featuring all the projects categorized, uh, such as typography, illustrations, UX, UI, and such things. For images, you use any of the uh, stock image websites and pull the images from there. I will change those later on. And after that, give me I think 2 pages are enough for now for the demonstration. Later on, if I need, I can add more pages. So first, give me a structure of the portfolio website, and then once I confirm, go ahead and then write a very clear PRD. In fact, a prompt which can be passed on to Google AI Studio for generating that entire website. Make sure that it's very modern, uh, minimalistic, and for theme, I would like to go ahead with neomorphic style. So minimal, neomorphic, and it should support dark mode and light mode by default. There should be a toggle button at the top navigation. Uh, yep, I think be creative, add more to this, and then give me a solid structure. And after that, you will have to write the content for it as well and include that in the PRD itself. So what I said is extremely important. That is going to be acting as a seed of the entire portfolio. Okay. So you can spend some time. So allocate, think of it as a sprint. So give it at least, I think, 20 to 30 minutes till the time you have a very clear structure. So I am asking for a great. So let me zoom in and then show what it is saying. It says absolutely I would position your portfolio less like a generic designer site and more like a living design intelligence profile, part educator, part researcher, part system thinker, and part builder. Right? So it understands what I do. You may have to, tell it that what you do. Given your profile, the strongest direction is neo-modern minimalism with editorial structure, layered motion, and personality first storytelling. That fits current portfolio patterns like modular bento layouts, motion led guidance, dynamic theming, and case study storytelling, while still keeping the site clean and credible. Dark and light toggle and subtle motion are especially aligned with current web expectations. Recommended site concept: your portfolio should not feel like a gallery of work, it should feel like a strategic design studio site for an academic practitioner who builds systems, teaches the future, and translates complexities into meaningful experiences. Wonderful. मेरे को भी नहीं पता था कि मैं इतना कुछ करता हूँ तो खैर. So the site voice should communicate multidisciplinary design leadership, design education plus future facing curriculum, UX and UI and digital product thinking, research depth, AI design systems thinking, credibility without looking corporate, warmth without looking casual. Right? Such a beautiful way to articulate what I had in mind. But this articulation is not purely coming from the prompt I gave, but rather the, the relationship I have established with ChatGPT over last 2 years. Countless conversations, right? Things I have deleted, things I have included, things I have iterated, all those play a very vital role. In your case, you have to speak about this. Okay? Site architecture, 4-page structure, home, and then in the home page there is a hero, identity, featured work, how I contribute, selected roles, positions, capacities, and all those things. So project index, then project details template, about, okay, a dedicated page, best landing page section, style for positions I have, recommended pattern, role, constellations, capability matrix. Okay, fine. So I trust it fully. You should actually review this first before allowing it to generate the great. So it also generated the PRD for me, master prompt for Google AI Studio, and I see visual direction, I see design principles, tech stack expectations in the home page. Okay, what about the content? Do I have the content here? Hero content, supporting paragraph, I'm Raji. Okay, fine, 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 fine. Testimonials. Okay. Uh, Great. Phase 2 PRD with final website copy for. If you want, I'll turn this into a sharper phase 2 PRD with final website for every section and all placeholder project fully written out. Yes, please. Please, बोलना नहीं है, but this is me being a little cultured with AI. Yes, please. हाँ मतलब sometimes people debate say they say कि you shouldn't write please. हाँ नो कुछ टोकन बढ़ा रहा है और ये बढ़ा रहा है क्या ही घट जाता है यार एटलीस्ट यू आर कल्चर्ड ना इफ द एआई इज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग इट है ना. So guys, now don't lose focus. I told you hyper focus I want in this. So phase 2 master PRD execution ready project title core intent. अभी इसमें हुआ क्या ना यहाँ पे ये कोड विंडो से अलग हो गया है थोड़ा सब मिक्स कर दिया इन्होंने ऐसे पूरा ठीक है. सो इसको पहले लिख लेने दो फिर मैं उसको बोलूंगा प्लीज गिव इट टू मी इन अ फॉर्मेट विच इज इजियर टू कॉपी एंड पेस्ट बिकॉज आई एम वेरी लेजी. Final instructions to yeah, give me the content for the final PRD in one code window or a downloadable um, .md file. .md is markdown file so that it's easy to copy and paste. By the time it does this, I'm gonna go to Google AI Studio. Okay, बहुत अच्छे बहुत अच्छे. दो कॉपीज बना रहा है. So let me use my personal account itself, or should I use? Let's use this one. So I'm gonna type Google AI Studio, and I'm using the Karnavati account for now. Uh, will ask you to sign in. Okay, once you open the Google AI Studio, it will take you to this page. You simply click on Get Started, and you will be taken to the dashboard. Here, you can click on Dashboard, and then first say, okay, sorry, not yet. Simply click on Build, and that will take you to this interface where you can copy and paste the PRD. Okay, there are some advanced settings also available, but don't do anything there. The React framework works just fine, and you are currently using free tier. That is okay. And the model I'm using is let me choose Gemini 3.1 Pro Preview. Let me choose this one because this will be faster and more intelligent. Um, and I have two versions of the PRD ready to be copied and pasted. Let me simply just click on this to copy it. And okay, I see that it did include the copy as well. Testimonial, right? Role ecosystem and featured projects. Great. So I have copied it from there and I'm going to paste it here and click on build. That's it. Allow. So it's going to take a while. And by that time, let me teach you a little about how this whole thing gonna work. Okay. So in the Google AI Studio, the thing which I have done is I'm gonna build a React plus White, which is a framework app. The language will be JavaScript. HTML, CSS, and for CSS, various libraries are going to be utilized. One is Tailwind, another is Framer Motion, and this is not CSS actually, this is also JavaScript library. So for CSS, Tailwind is going to be utilized. What happens, think of it, we got to understand about the server and client relation, how the web pages works. So all the people who are going to type the URL xyz.com are acting as clients. Anybody who types xyz.com is a client, and the client needs to be served. Served what? xyz.com. So what is going to happen is when somebody types in xyz.com, it resolves into an IP address. Okay? And there is an external and there is an internal IP address. And there is an internal. So the external wait. So the external IP address points at the server, and within that server there could be multiple websites, there could be multiple web apps. So the external IP address points to the internal IP address or internal location where the file is kept. Now this is possible because of DNS, domain name server. So this XYZ actually goes like this, this, and this points at the IP address. Okay, and to remove the complexity, let's just remove this, and then the IP address gives access to the server where some processing happens, and then the page is being sent back to the client. Okay, so yeah.
So suppose, for example, if you write like there are forms, no contact information and all. You feed that form in a website for external, which are the internal one, and then it comes to it.
No, when you, so there are many different ways how you can process. See, the whole internet is built out of protocols. Okay, so there is this HTTPS protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, and then no, that's a different thing. Then for the mail you have SMTP, for the files you have FTP, for the web conferences you have, the live video chats you have, there is WebRTC. So all these protocols work. For the form, there are two methods for putting data on server and fetching data, get and post. So very rarely you will see that you are posting something. So form allows you to post data. So if you write something and hit send, the data goes to the server, and on the server some processing happens, and then a mail can be triggered based on that. But in this case we can use a third party service. Okay, because we will not be able to configure these things, and this will be basically writing everything from scratch on server to handle the forms is not a good idea, since there are many services which allows you to process the form. You just have to hook the APIs with those. I'll teach you that as well in this, don't worry. Let's see what Google has done. It is still working. Okay, you could also go directly on Google AI Studio and write build me a portfolio website, but the website which will come that way will not be good enough for you. But if you give a very clear PRD, then in one shot it is going to be able to generate a very good website. Okay, and then you can customize it simply by typing in things here. Maybe at one go it will not give you the best of the result, है ना? or if you want to edit some content, then also you can go to the code, and you can see the codes are being already generated here in the background. So I'll teach you how to find, if in case you need to edit something, you don't always have to rely upon typing it here in the chat box and then letting the AI agent do it for you. You can, for example, in the code, if you go here and the home page, you can see that the content is already there, and you can change the content as well if you want. Plain simple English डिजाइनिंग, इसमें क्या पढ़ना आना चाहिए तुमको? हाँ? ठीक है? So it's populating the pages with the content. I can see on which page it is working right now. It's working on projects.tsx. Now I switch to project details.tsx. tsx are TypeScript files. हाँ, वो मेरा पर्पस ही नहीं है, उसके लिए अलग कोर्स करना पड़ेगा. टाइपस्क्रिप्ट जावास्क्रिप्ट का ही एक तरह से कह सकते हो कि नहीं, जावास्क्रिप्ट, देखो जावास्क्रिप्ट जो है ना, ये इसको ऐसे समझो कि जावास्क्रिप्ट जो है, देखो HTML क्या है? हाइपर टेक्स्ट मार्कअप लैंग्वेज. सो जो भी पेज आपको दिखता है ना, उसमें कंटेंट किस स्ट्रक्चर में आएगा, ये HTML डिसाइड करता है स्ट्रक्चर. उसकी स्टाइलिंग जो होगी ना, कि वो कलर कैसा दिखेगा, फॉन्ट कैसा होगा, साइज क्या होगा, बॉक्स का शैडो कैसा होगा, ये CSS डिसाइड करता है. उसको बोलते हैं कास्केडिंग स्टाइल सीट. और जावास्क्रिप्ट जो होता है ना, वो पेज के बिहेवियर को डिसाइड करता है. तो जावास्क्रिप्ट को पूरा अगर स्क्रैच में वनीला में लिखोगे, कोई भी चीज अगर कोड बोलते हैं ना वनीला जावास्क्रिप्ट या वनीला PHP, वनीला का मतलब है कि एब्सोल्यूट जो कोर लैंग्वेज, अगर उसमें लिखोगे तो बहुत टाइम लगेगा. तो इसलिए जावास्क्रिप्ट की बहुत सारी लाइब्रेरीज और वर्जन्स बने. ठीक है, रिएक्ट भी जावास्क्रिप्ट का ही एक वर्जन है, जो कि फेसबुक ने बनाया था अपने लिए, और बाद में उसको ओपन सोर्स कर दिया उन्होंने. 2011 में आया था रिएक्ट. PHP का फुल फॉर्म होता है हाइपर टेक्स्ट प्री प्रोसेसिंग. PHP जो लैंग्वेज है, रिएक्ट के पहले वही रूल करता था वेब को. इनफैक्ट आज भी वेबसाइट्स के मार्केट में PHP और ASP.NET, एक्टिव सर्वर पेजेस और PHP, ये कॉम्बिनेशन सबसे पावरफुल था. लेकिन अब थोड़ा सा डेटेड हो गया, अपडेटेड हो गया, वो नई टेक्नोलॉजीज ने टेक ओवर कर लिया. अगर ये वन शॉट प्रॉम्प्ट नहीं होता ना इतना ज्यादा, तो इतना टाइम नहीं लगता, वो कुछ फटाफट में जनरेट करके दे देता. पर आई एम होपिंग कि कुछ बढ़िया निकल के आएगा. हाँ ठीक है. So before we look at the preview, let me just take you through. It's verifying actually right now. Okay. So my portfolio is ready. And it did make it very minimalistic. Featured the projects. Okay. And I have a dark mode and a light mode support also. Let me just go full screen. And here is my portfolio ready. So if I scroll down, you will see the header acting the way it is supposed to be. Testimonials, contributions. Okay. The form fields work. I need to still connect it. And I don't see a submit button. Maybe in the dark mode it will be visible. Yes. So these minimal glitches can be fixed, right? Yeah, you can fix this manually also, and you can just say things and then it will also do. Let me quickly check if the projects lead me to a separate page or not. Yes. So this is the project. Here is the hero image, type, duration, the challenge, and the process images. Yes, you can change the images separately, of course. Okay. So it shows me the previous project, next project. Let me click on the next project. Great. Right. What I want is these images should also open and then, grow bigger. I just don't want just a thumbnail. So what I'm gonna do is
Oh,
ठीक है, और सिर्फ प्रोजेक्ट पे जाओगे तो सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स तुम्हारे लिस्टेड आ जाएंगे यहाँ पे, और यू विल बी एबल टू एक्चुअली फिल्टर ऑल्सो. ठीक है, अबाउट वर्क कर रहा है, प्रोजेक्ट वर्क कर रहा है, होम वर्क कर रहा है, एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, नो प्रॉब्लम. डार्क मोड, लाइट मोड वर्क्स. ठीक है, एक चीज जो मुझे चाहिए, थोड़ा सा चेंज जो चाहिए, कि द प्रोजेक्ट प्रोसेस images shall have a small description below the thumbnails in individual project pages, and those images shall open in a light box. पहला ये, और दूसरा, audit the submit. Is it the submit button? Let me just check. In the dark mode, it's in edit the send message button in the form and fix it's not showing up in light mode, and uh, also is not looking good in dark mode. Align it to the right of the contact form. So guys, I have asked for two changes, and this is just a proof that it works. So I want this button to be placed on the right edge of it, and I also want it to be better visible on dark and light mode both. In the light mode, it gets disappeared, and so let's see if it is able to do that or not. Another thing I wanted is, when I click on this and then go to these images should have a small description here, and if I click on it, it should open in a light box. Okay, rest everything is fine. So let's see if it is able to do that or not. Okay, by the time this works, what you can do is create an account on GitHub, because other two accounts you have. So create an account on GitHub. Okay, so go to github.com. Just type in GitHub. I think it's github.com, and there you have to sign up for GitHub. You can click on write your email ID here and then sign up for GitHub, or simply click on sign up and click on continue with Google. It would be nice if you are using the same college account. अभी एक्सप्लोर करने के लिए, बाद में तुम 2-3 बार करना, जो भी ट्राई करना है, यू फाइनलाइज इट. बट या तो पर्सनल अकाउंट से कर लो, चलेगा, पर्सनल से कर लो, कोई बात नहीं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. आप दोनों अगर गूगल अकाउंट सेम रहेंगे ना, तो प्रॉब्लम कम होती है अपलोड करने में. ठीक है, ये देखो चेंजेस कर दिए इसने. मैं स्क्रॉल डाउन करता हूं और टेस्ट करता हूं कि जो प्रोजेक्ट्स थे उसके अंदर जो प्रोसेस इमेजेस हैं, क्या वो अब लाइट, पहले तो पहली चीज तो ये कि उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन आ रहा है, करेक्ट। अब मैं इस पे क्लिक करूंगा तो इट शुड ओपन इन ए लाइट बॉक्स। एक सेकंड बताता हूँ, लाइट बॉक्स बड़ा होके खुलता है ना, इसमें कुछ ग्लिच आ रहा है, देखो ये। एक सेकंड, हाँ ये खुल तो रहा है, लेकिन कुछ ग्लिच है। एक बार फिर से रिफ्रेश करके देखते हैं। प्रोजेक्ट्स, एक सेकंड, इसको मैं एक स्क्रीनशॉट ले लेता हूँ और इसको पेस्ट करके रखता हूँ ताकि मैं बता पाऊँ क्या प्रॉब्लम थी। एंड लेट मी गो टू द होम पेज, scroll down and check the send message is on the right hand side and it's visible on the light mode as well, but still it is not behaving the way it should. So we can further keep on tweaking it. Here the light box is not working properly. It should come on the center of the page and the background should be darkened.
सर आपका ये एआई स्टूडियो पेड वर्जन है?
नहीं, कॉलेज वाला यूज कर रहा हूँ, इसीलिए तो मैंने कॉलेज वाला यूज किया।
तो हम पर्सनल यूज करें ना,
दो देखो, एक बार टेस्ट करके देख लो।
पर्सनल से टेस्ट करें।
हाँ, पर्सनल वाले से टेस्ट करके देख लो, अगर हो जाता है। गाइस, क्रिएट एन अकाउंट ऑन गिटहब, दैट इज व्हाट आई सेड। बिकॉज ये तो मैं थोड़ा थोड़ा ठीक 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 करते करता रहूंगा इसको। तो
कॉलेज अकाउंट से भी
अपना पर्सनल कॉलेज जैसे बनाना है बना लो।
गिटहब कोपायलट भी
गिटहब पे अकाउंट बनाना है आप। हाँ जी, गूगल अकाउंट, गिटहब पे अकाउंट बनाना है, गूगल से साइन इन कर लो आप। और अपना अकाउंट का जो वो है नाम, वो याद रखना।
सैंडविच लैब
देखो ये फिक्स हो गया अभी। पहले लाइट बॉक्स सही से नहीं खुल रहा था, अब मैं इसको क्लिक करता हूँ तो ये लाइट बॉक्स खुलता है सही से। मैं इसको क्लोज कर सकता हूँ, सो पीपल कैन लुक एट योर प्रोसेस इमेज। ठीक है। अब दूसरी एक इशू थी कि फॉर्म में जो है ना, एंड यस्टरडे मैट्रिक्स कैसे दिखाते हैं, सो फॉर वन प्रोजेक्ट यू कैन सिंपली हैव दीज, these are called taxonomies basically. So what is the type of the project you have done, for how long have you worked on it, what was your role, and the focus and the outcome, right? In short, this much is fine for you guys. If you can And then don't write a lot of things. Simply write the challenge you have, your approach, and the process and execution. I think this much is good enough. And give some images. Okay? And you can also give the Figma link and all those things. Okay? So, for example, let's say uh, in the project, if I want space for giving a Figma link, I can ask it to do it. I can simply type in the link here, and then I can ask to add a button somewhere. You decide the space. You tell that to add a button there, and it will add that button. For example, if I want it to add a button below the process and execution, add a button below the process execution section in project page. वाह, इसने हल्का सा ब्लू टिंट भी ऐड कर दिया और ये कॉन्टैक्ट वाला फॉर्म बहुत खूबसूरत कर दिया इसने आप. आई एम लाइकिंग इट. So add a button below the process and execution section in project page, uh, which takes the user to the Figma uh, project uh, put a placeholder link which I will change later. So this should be included in all projects as project link. Also embed add a project done for advertising and add a YouTube video along with uh, 3 project images with description. Um, let's see what it does. अभी देखो कितना बढ़िया लग रहा है. Looks much better, right? You can definitely change it by going to the codes. I'll teach you how to do that. Don't worry. ठीक है? Because इसमें जो भी images हैं, क्योंकि इसमें जो भी images हैं, कुछ नहीं.
सर GitHub में मेरा एंट्री नहीं हुआ था इसलिए हेल्प लिया था.
अच्छा, अभी कर रहे हो. ठीक है, ठीक है. गुड गुड गुड. दैट्स गुड. देखो छोटे छोटे चेंजेस, जैसे यहाँ पे ये वाला जो स्पेस है ना, ये थोड़ा बढ़ा देंगे तो ज्यादा बेहतर लगेगा. या इसके पूरे साइज को अगर मैं थोड़ा कम कर दूं तो ये जो कॉल टू एक्शन है मेरे वो ऊपर आ जाएंगे. अब ये छोटे छोटे चेंजेस है, मैं अभी इसमें ज्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाऊंगा. ये कोड में भी जाके कर सकता हूँ मैं आराम से. पर मैं यहाँ देखना चाहता हूँ कि अब इसमें भी ना, this is looking nice, makes me interested in what the visual is. Then I look at the visual immediately, followed up by some details, and then I see the challenge, the approach, some process images, and it just refreshed. That means I should find a Figma link also. Beautiful, right? Nice micro interactions. ठीक है? The form is also there. Now it works in light mode, dark mode, both beautifully, no problem. more styling can be done. This is not it. More can be done, of course. But we have a ready version of the portfolio which we can push to GitHub and then thereafter upload on Vercel. Okay? So let's try doing that. I'm going to click on publish here and then scroll to GitHub. Okay? जो मैं बता रहा हूं ना उसको ध्यान से देखो, मिस नहीं करना. Click on publish and scroll, go to GitHub. Click on GitHub. It will ask you to sign in on the GitHub. Click on sign in and it is going to ask you for the email address and password. Since I have it already stored, I can say sign in here, but I would rather choose continue with Google. Let me click on it, wait for it, and it is giving me an account which I do not have connected with GitHub. So I'm going to choose use another account and then I'll give the right account which I have used for creating the GitHub. Say next, write in the password. So I have two-factor authentication for this. Done. And if everything goes right, I thought so. देखो इसमें एक चैलेंज हो गया अभी. पर्सनल अकाउंट से करना बेहतर रहता. वर्क 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 हाँ केयू वाला इशू हो जाता. पर हो गया. एक बार ये साइन इन हो जाएगा, then it will ask you to write a repository name. So I can say demo portfolio. You can say your name and portfolio or whatever you want to say. So I'll simply say demo portfolio and the description is this is a demo portfolio for students of MVED SEM 2. Make it public and create GitHub repository. Repository matlab a space where things can be kept. In this case, codes are kept on in those repositories, and repositories are basically something which can be accessed from different locations. Okay, so I see that my code is synced to Rajiv Scorpion / demo profile portfolio. Let me show you my GitHub account. So this is my GitHub account. And there are my repositories. So I have many. These are the projects I have been working on. Yesterday I was working on Story Master. I'll show you that also. It is almost ready. And these are some of the projects. This I have been working for a lot of time. But I want you to see this demo portfolio which we have created now. So if you click on this, you will see all the codes, right? And it says Google AI Studio has been used for creating this. Now I need to publish this on Vercel. So now is the time that you create a Vercel account. I already have the account. Wait. Vercel allows you to deploy. It's like a space where your projects will live so that other people can access it. So it's a server. Okay. It's actually not a server. It's a serverless platform. Then I'll have to explain server और serverless में क्या difference है. तो इसको ऐसे जान लो कि एक जगह है जहां पे तुमने चीजें रख दी तो लोगों को मिल जाएंगी. ठीक है. अरे वाह. ठीक है, कर ले भाई, फ्री में इतना कुछ दे रहा है, मांग रहा है मेरे से डेटा। सो देखो, ये पहले के एप्लीकेशंस हैं। जैसे एक एप्लीकेशन तुम्हें दिखाता हूँ, ये भी वर्सेल पे होस्टेड है। ठीक है, ये देखो। सो cogsnap डॉट ऐप, ये एक प्रोजेक्ट है जिस पे मैं काम कर रहा हूँ काफी दिनों से। सो अभी मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि हम all projects पे जाएंगे, and you will see many projects. In my case, in your case, there will be no projects. So all you have to do is click on add new, click on project, and it will automatically fetch the GitHub repo. If it is not selected, then you should click on this drop down and add a GitHub account. You can have multiple GitHub accounts added to it as well. In this case, it is finding out my GitHub already connected and gives me that project. I'll simply click on import, and here it says demo portfolio. I'll let it be. You can change it to your name, and I'm gonna say deploy. In our case, there is no environment variable, but in case if you want some AI features in your portfolio, maybe a chatbot which talks on your behalf, schedules your meetings, or maybe let's say that you become a freelancer and then somebody wants to know how much a logo designing will cost, so they can simply type in the chatbot and they can have a conversation with a pre-programmed chatbot. So for those, environment variables needs to be designed, and you can see a small preview of the website is being visible here. I'll say continue to dashboard, and there goes my site live. Definitely these things needs to be changed. That can be done, not a big issue. Let me just create a QR code for this page, download it, and guys, here is my portfolio. I promise that I'll do it in 2 hours, but I delivered it in 1 hour. Yes, go ahead, scan that. My portfolio is online. And after you check it, the good part, this works on mobile also beautifully. Yeah, it does. Would you like to have such kind of portfolios? हाँ, मेरे को कितना पैसा मिलेगा?
So if you want to add like framework like micro interactions, micro interactions and all, ये सब की
ऐड हो सकता है। फ्रेमर मोशन तो मैंने ऐड किया ही है उसके अंदर। फ्रेमर मोशन एक लाइब्रेरी है। ठीक है, दिख गया वेबसाइट? सबको दिख रहा है? हाँ,
तो जैसे आपने वो कोड वाला जो शीट वाले में करके दिखाया था कि हम टेक्स्ट वगैरह चेंज कर सकते हैं। अगर हमको थीम चेंज करना है मिनिमलिज्म से कुछ ऐसे जाते हैं तो वहीं पे ऊपर
तो आप ऐसे नहीं थीम चेंज होता है एक वर्ड बोल के। थीम चेंज करना है, एस्थेटिक तो आपको पहले से ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा। थीम चेंज करने का कोई ऐसा टॉगल बटन नहीं है कि न्यू ब्रूटलिज्म से मिनिमलिज्म और मिनिमलिज्म से नियोमॉर्फिक। हाँ, सो पहले आपको स्टडी करना पड़ेगा कि ये थीम्स होते क्या है। इफ यू वांट समथिंग इन अ पर्टिकुलर स्टाइल, सो फॉर एग्जांपल मैं तुम्हें दिखाता हूँ, मैंने क्या यूज किया था, मैंने नियोमॉर्फिक यूज किया था। हाँ, अब ये तो तुम्हें पढ़ना चाहिए, तुम्हारे यूआई यूएक्स में हम क्या पढ़ाएं इसमें। हाँ, नहीं आया है क्योंकि बाद में उसको जब पीआरडी लिख रहे थे तो वहां पे उसने चेंज करा था ना थोड़ा सा। ठीक है, ये है नियोमॉर्फिक स्टाइल। और कॉम्बिनेशंस भी हो सकते हैं, जैसे ग्लास मॉर्फिज्म एंड नियोमॉर्फिज्म का हो सकता है। मैं आपको और दिखाता हूँ, एक बहुत फेमस स्टाइल है आज के डेट में जिसका नाम है नियो ब्रूटलिज्म। ये ठीक है, फिर स्क्यूमॉर्फिक होता है, ये जो बहुत दिन से चला आया। ठीक है, इसके बाद है एक मिनिमलिज्म, ये है मिनिमलिस्ट यूआई। ठीक है, सो यू हैव टू फर्स्ट फाइंड आउट कि what kind of person you are and how do you wish to project yourself, and then create a PRD. Spend some time in developing the PRD first. So I'll end the demonstration here. Hereafter, it is primarily about iterating things and pushing to the GitHub. The good part is, अभी दिखाता हूँ मजा। अगर मुझे यहाँ पे थोड़ा पैडिंग ऐड करना है, मैं सिर्फ क्या करूंगा, इसकी जरूरत भी नहीं थी स्क्रीनशॉट की, बट स्टिल आई विल टेक इट। Add padding to the top and bottom in hero section. Reduce the size of the big font in the hero section by 20%. देखो, अब ये चीज मैं कोड में भी जाके कर सकता था। सो यहाँ कोड में सबसे पहले हमें होम फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा और वहां पे खोजना पड़ेगा कि कहाँ पे हीरो सेक्शन, यहाँ पे। ठीक है, हीरो सेक्शन में ये H1 क्लास है। H1 क्लास में यहाँ पे टेक्स्ट 5 एक्सेल है। मैं 5 एक्सेल की जगह 4 एक्सेल करूंगा तो चेंज। अच्छा, ये इतनी आसानी से मैंने खोज लिया इस वजह से क्योंकि मुझे कोडिंग आती है, आपको नहीं पता होगा तो उसमें टाइम स्पेंड अभी करोगे तो पोर्टफोलियो नहीं बन पाएगा। बट यू शुड लर्न कोडिंग अगर तुम्हें सीखना है, आगे जाना है। तो एक बहुत अच्छी रिसोर्स मैं आपको बताता हूँ, W3 स्कूल्स। यहाँ पे जाइए, ये जो टाइम की आवाज आई ना, इसका मतलब है इसने फिनिश कर लिया काम। लेट मी सी द प्रीव्यू एंड इट इज रिड्यूस्ड, पैडिंग इज बीइंग एडेड एंड लुक्स बेटर नाउ, मच बेटर। हाँ जी, बता रहा हूँ फोटोज चेंज करने। अगर आप यहाँ तक पहले पहुंच जाओगे तो फिर मैं आपको फोटोज चेंज करना ही बता दूंगा, पर अभी के लिए अगर तुम्हें सिर्फ सीखना है ब्रॉडली तो मैं बताता हूँ। आप कोड में जाएंगे ना तो यू विल रियलाइज कि एक इसमें ना कहीं फाइल होगी, रुक जाओ बताता हूँ मैं आपको, जिसके अंदर सारा लिंक्स होगा। अगर नहीं होगा तो हम वो बाद में कर लेंगे। अगर इसने अलग अलग करके रखा है तो भी, navbar components app.tsx projects utilities.tss main.tss प्रोजेक्ट डिटेल्स इसमें हार्ड कोड कर दिया क्या इसने?
सर नहीं तो उसका स्क्रीनशॉट लेके अब हम अपनी वाली इमेज
ना ना ना, दैट्स नॉट अ गुड आइडिया, नॉट अ गुड आइडिया। एक्चुअली ये ना सर्व कर रहा होगा जो भी कंटेंट एक स्टैटिक पेज से कर रहा होगा, मैं वही ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। वहां पे सब कुछ मिल जाएगा तुम्हें एक ही साथ। मुझे यहाँ लिंक तो नहीं दिख रहा कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट डिटेल्स में। I don't see links. That means that file must be there somewhere. Let me see in the projects. Here also I don't see any links. So वो किस फोल्डर में है, किस फाइल में है? index.html नहीं नहीं नहीं, components, layout, project cards. I'm just fishing for that link. Sections, testimonial. Even in the testimonial you will not see the content written here. That means there is usually one file which is serving all the content, data, and I see data and a typescript file ts. Here you should be ये क्या हो गया? अच्छा, गलती से मैंने उसको, ये देखो प्रोजेक्ट्स, ये डेटा के अंदर प्रोजेक्ट्स है ना, यहाँ पे तुम्हारे सारे डेटा है। कोई भी टेक्स्ट चेंज करना है यहां से आप चेंज कर सकते हो। गैलरी के अंदर देखो ये रहा लिंक, ठीक है। अगर मैं इसको कॉपी करूं और यहाँ पेस्ट करूं, so you will be able to see that image which we are using, and we just need to change this, right? So how do we do that? We have to change this link. But वो हमारा ये जो है अर्ली वायर फ्रेम्स में, एक बार मैं पहले क्या करता हूँ, मैं में प्रीव्यू में जाते हैं हम, और ये इमेज कौन सी है पहले ये पता करते हैं। ये वाली है ना, इसके अंदर होगा, इसके अंदर है शायद ये वाला। ये इमेज है ना इस पेज पे, मुझे ये चेंज करना है, करेक्ट? मैं गूगल पे जाऊंगा और इमेजेस में जाऊंगा और लैपटॉप या कुछ भी जो भी टाइप करना है आप करो। हियर आवर पर्पस इज जस्ट टू चेंज द इमेज। आई राइट क्लिक ऑन इट, चूज कॉपी लिंक एट, सॉरी गलत, आपको चूज करना है कॉपी इमेज एड्रेस, और उसको टेस्ट करने के लिए यहाँ पे एक बार पेस्ट करके चेक कर लेना है कि वो इमेज ओपन होती है कि नहीं। हो गई? अब वहां पे वापस जाएंगे, कोड में जाएंगे और यहाँ पे उसको पेस्ट कर देंगे, यहाँ पे इसको रिप्लेस करके नया वाला जो है वो पेस्ट कर देंगे और सेव कर देंगे।
हमारे जो इंग्लिश यूज करेंगे
दैट नीड्स टू बी होस्टेड समवेयर, कहीं ना कहीं होस्ट करना पड़ेगा। वो बता देता हूँ मैं तुम्हें कहाँ होस्ट कर सकते हैं। ड्राइव से नहीं होगा, ड्राइव से नहीं होगा, ड्राइव लिंक फॉलो नहीं होगा। अब देखो यहाँ पे मैंने चेंज किया, मैं प्रीव्यू में जाता हूँ और वापस मैं उसी पेज पे जाता हूँ। सो आई शुड बी एबल टू सी द न्यू इमेज। आ गया, ये चेंज हो गया ना इमेज, ठीक है? सो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन चेंज द इमेज। ऑल राइट, सो आई हैव मेड सम चेंजेस, राइट? बट इफ आई गो टू द वेबसाइट, I don't see those changes here. The font is still big and I like it this way. In fact, no, at 100%, it's not looking nice. So I need to push the changes to GitHub and automatically it is going to get deployed to the Vercel. Okay? So for doing that, I'll again go to the publish, go to the GitHub tab, and it will recognize the changes automatically and also write the things we have changed. Automatically it is doing it. I'm gonna say stage and commit all changes, and then if you click on Vercel, you will see that it starts building it automatically. If you go to the deployments, you will see that it started building it, and it wouldn't take much time, 9 seconds it built it. And if I refresh, the changes I have done will be live on my website. Okay, including the image I have changed is live on my website. Okay, so now you understand how websites, whether a portfolio or you can create it for a brand also, for a client also, can be built very quickly using AI, and not just built but also deployed, a responsive website which works on mobile tablets, right? And you also learned how to change the content. Okay, if you remember, I had asked it to add a project and embed a YouTube video also. So let me check. Go to the project and advertising. Remember, let me see if it added an YouTube video or not. There is your YouTube video, runs properly. So you can think of your project which you have just finished can be presented in this way. A before and after video side by side along with the process images which people can click and then check, right? Your reflection, next previous image. Okay, very good. So this is it from my side. If you finish till here, then thereafter I'll teach more if required. ठीक है?
We'll finish till AI studio. उसके बाद फिर
नहीं, एक बार मैंने बता दिया. I told you guys to take notes. This is a very bad habit.
सर कहीं कहीं डाउट्स है सर.
कोई डाउट्स नहीं है, अभी डाउट हो ही नहीं सकता जब तक किया नहीं है. तुम पहले से मान के चल रहे हो डाउट है, वो गलत है. अटेंटिवली आपको 1.5 घंटे समय देना था, चुपचाप बैठ के. अभी भी खत्म नहीं हुआ टाइम, इसका मतलब है आप जहां बैठे हो वहां से हिलना नहीं है, उसको खत्म करना है अभी। ठीक है, चलो स्टार्ट करो काम करना।